Wednesday, February 25th, and you're watching the Hammer Daily here on the Hammer Betting Network, presented by our good friends over at FanDuel. And I have a little bit of something to get off my chest today. Double check quickly. Is the sky falling? Is there a meteor crashing down to Earth the next day? Is the core going to explode? No. Are we sure? Because guess what's going to happen today? Kirk Evans is going to come on and give me my flowers. Can you believe that? I might be a better future better than him. We'll see. We're going to talk about that a little bit later on in the show. I'm your host, Jay Scooper, alongside my producer for the next hour and a bit, Mike Bennett, behind the boards, cooking up the great show that we have for you today. Like I mentioned there, Kirk Evans closes out the show. We're going to talk a little bit about MVP futures, MIP futures, a little bit about the NBA. Cannot wait to talk about that with Kirk because you know what? I don't know if you know the history between me and Kirk. There's a lot of futures history there. And I've been smoking him recently. He likes to go opposite me. And he likes to lose, apparently. But he's finally come to his senses. He's come back around. And he agrees with my MVP take. If you caught the show yesterday, we were talking about Wemby MVP. It was 27-1 live on the show, moved to 25-1. I still think the 25-1 is a good bet. I think he's going to hit that game's play threshold. There's a chance SGA misses. There's a chance Jokic does not hit the threshold. And in that scenario, I think Wemby is for sure going to win the MVP there. It's very, very tough for him to lose that. If that's the scenario laid out. And at 25-1, I feel like you're getting a great price on that. So, talking about that yesterday. To lead off the show, we got Mr. Peanut Bettor. We're going to talk some UFL stuff. I don't know if you guys remember this 2 weeks ago. On his whiteboard, he had get UFL data sorted. And I said, you know what, Mr. Peanut Bettor? I'm going to send you a message in a week's time, in 2 weeks' time, when you're back on the show. We're going to make sure that you did that. We're going to hold you accountable. Well, guess what, guys? We held him accountable, and he did it. So he's going to come on. We're going to talk about a little bit about every single team in the UFL. Talk about the new rules. There's 6 new rule changes that are coming into the UFL. 3 of them are pretty impactful. So if you want to be betting on the UFL, listen, I know this is a little early here. I believe we're almost 30-ish days out. First game, I believe, is March 26th. We're a month out still, but this is good information to have early on to inform yourself betting when lines do eventually get posted for the first slate of UFL games. Then finally, to middle of the show, not to close out the show. Started with Kirk last. Middle of the show, we got Geoff Fienberg coming on. He's going to talk to us a little bit about some golf bets he has this week. And he's going to be airing his grievances. He's like, I'm pissed off today. I have a lot to talk about. So we're going to do that with Geoff. We're going to give him the floor. He is an absolute clip machine. So I'm excited to have him on. I'm sure there'll be some great stuff coming from.
So is Kanish, though.
You think Kanish is a clip machine?
I mean, based on like past experience, like clipping for you guys, yeah, totally. I think Kanish does bring the fire sometimes, but guy has yet to appear on our show. So until then, I guess it is just
Kanish is a loser.
No,
okay? Kanish, no. Kanish is a loser. Doesn't even hold a candle to Fienberg. It's not even close. It's actually not even close. And I'm going to tell Geoff that you said that because that's kind of disrespectful to Geoff. Kanish can't even commit to a 1 hour show, a 3 hour watch along. Kanish is the type of guy to leave you stranded in the trenches. I don't want to bring him to battle with me. Bring me Geoff. Geoff by my side.
He might leave you stranded in the trenches, but I don't know.
Nah, I think he'll leave anyone stranded in the trenches. Before we get into the show today, just want to quickly remind you guys about the Hammer Drop. We've got a newsletter called the Hammer Drop. Not sure if you've been living under a rock or not, but we have a great newsletter. We've been doing all football season, but just because the NFL is over doesn't mean we'll stop putting out that newsletter. Alex continues with his hockey thoughts on Wednesday. That's today. And Mondays will be packed with NFL news, free agent rankings, draft stuff, and so much more. Head over to the Hammer.bet to subscribe. NHL's back today, so you're going to want to check it out for some NHL bets. Hammer Drop.
Scan the QR code on screen.
Hammer.bet or scan the QR code on screen. All right. Excited to get into the show today. We have our first guest ready to go behind the scenes. And you know what? Before we even get into things, I'm going to ask him about his whiteboard. There's something that we have to cross off there. The new leader of Whiteboard Wednesday, the new owner of Whiteboard Wednesday, stealing this one from Teacher Tay, Mr. Peanut Bettor. How's it going, my friend?
It's going great.
Yeah? What do you got on the whiteboard for us today? Because last time you were on, I don't know if you remember, you had get UFL stuff down, like get all the data sorted.
Review UFL team stuff now. So we're a next step in. I have to review the actual data.
Okay, that's a problem because I sent you the rundown for the show. You said you wanted to talk about UFL teams today, though.
Yeah, you can talk it with info, and then you actually have to get into the numbers,
Okay.
It's the next step. Also, just so you know, it's more like league-wide stuff. basically, if you paid attention to the UFL last year, none of that matters for this season.
Okay, well, let's get into things and talk about a little bit why that is. The first thing I wanted to lead off with you is the new rules being put into place. There's 6 rules that I noted that are pretty impactful. The 3 that I don't think are as impactful but will still be very interesting is 1, banning the tush push. 2, 1 foot in bounds for a catch. I think that's actually a lot more impactful than I'm making it out to be. No? Why not?
It's in college. It very rarely has effect. They are so used to it, they try to tap 2 every time anyways.
Okay, all right, never mind. 1 foot in bounds for a catch. No punting within the 50-yard line. That's a little bit impactful. The 3 that I listed that might be the most impactful is overtime going to 3 downs at the 5-yard line. 60-yard field goals are now being worth 4 points. And the most impactful, probably, we'll see, depends on how coaches move on this. You can now go for a 3-point attempt, which is, I believe, from the 8-yard line instead of the. You're making a weird face. Is that not true?
Well, they've had that before. I thought that this year they were getting rid of it. We got to do some, get research on it on the fly here.
Are they getting rid of? Wow.
Yeah, they're getting rid of. So they used to do the 1-point conversion, 2-point conversion, 3-point conversion. And it was a sweet rule. I loved it. I thought it was so much better than watching these teams kick. The UFL started off with good rules. It had what's now the NFL kickoff. The NFL copied basically what the UFL did, where they can still get returns and it's not as dangerous. They had this 3 phases for the extra points. And they basically started off with these new rules, one shot at it, and then have since then just kind of, shit the bed, for lack of a better term. I think that all the new rules kind of suck. The tush push, whatever, it's fine. Nobody did it last year, so it doesn't really matter. I think they just wanted to do that so that they could, get a little bit of headlines from the NFL. But no, I thought that some of the original rules weren't that bad. And basically these new ones, I'm not a fan.
All right, I'm going to have to reach out to some UFL experts because I thought you were the UFL expert. According to my Google, I've done 3 Google searches now. It says that it's a new rule, the 3-point attempt. Maybe these articles are using an AI and completely have it wrong. But I guess, what do you feel like is the most impactful new rule of the ones that are out there?
I don't know if any of them actually are going to have that much of effect. If you think about everybody within the 50-yard line now, nobody's really punting anymore. Like, it feels like they made that distance where everybody's going to go for it anyways. There's maybe a handful of people who would otherwise do it. The kick, I think, I don't understand that at all. The whole point of football is to get the ball closer to the goal line. Now we're going to, give you a benefit for not getting it there. So I don't actually think. I mean, the guys in the UFL have actually been able to kick it a pretty good distance. I don't know if they were using like what the NFL is doing now with they get to have their own balls that kind of juice them up beforehand. But if you think like Bates for Michigan went to the NFL, and it makes sense that would be the one position where there's not going to be much of a difference from the NFL. So there are probably guys that will make the 60-yarders. I guess maybe late in games that could have an impact because you could be essentially stopping before you get to the yard line. So that could be interesting, but I don't know. I think that they're pretty gimmicky, and the ones that they put in place before were also kind of gimmicky, but they were more fun.
Okay. Do you feel like this is all these things are going to contribute to like a slight bump up in totals? I guess like probably live betting might be the best way to take advantage of this with the overtime rule. If you see a game go to overtime, maybe books aren't fully accounting for the new overtime rules here. Do you think that'll contribute to a small bump in totals or no?
So you're thinking like, you ever watch in basketball where a guy puts a move on someone and then he actually blows by the guy, but then he puts on another move and goes back into position? These markets are so inefficient. You don't have to, really like rifle in that closely and find edges like that. We're just going to bet the teams that can accurately pass the ball versus the teams that can't. So I think that that's the right way to approach it generally, but this is a much more Mickey Mouse market, much more beatable market.
I'm a little too far in the weeds here. This is my first experience with the UFL. I'm excited to get into things, though. Do you have a favorite UFL player? Have you ever bought a jersey? Like, is there a guy who's just won you a ton of money who you just consistently think about?
Yeah, last year, now I'm blanking on his name. I can't say he's my favorite player, but the Michigan quarterback, Bryce Perkins, former Virginia kid. He was, NFL Super Bowl champion, Bryce Perkins, but he was just a stud. And last year, Michigan, for some reason, I think they must have promised the other guy that he would get starts. So they did a 2 quarterback system. And it was pretty obvious if you were paying attention that Once Perkins comes in, they're the best offense in the league, and once Perkins is not in, they're not. So that was just like a wonderful betting opportunity. So Bryce Perkins will always be, my MVP.
Bryce Perkins, you hold dearly in your heart. Let's go through and talk through, I guess, every single team quickly. I want to go like rapid fire here. There's 8 teams. Give me like a 1-minute blurb about each team to keep the audience informed here. We're going to start with the Birmingham Stallions. 1 minute, go.
Yeah, so they were the Alabama, essentially, of this league. You're going to have to look into how much of their roster stays. There are some regional components, and we're going to have to get into a deep dive to see how much actually it matters that they were that good. But now they basically have lost their quarterback. They have a new head coach, Skip Holtz, son of Lou Holtz, is gone too. So basically they were the big dogs on campus, and now everything's completely unknown. They have a guy who was playing quarterback last year now as their coach. I think that's either it's going to work out or it's not. I don't think that they're probably going to be very average.
All right. Guessing Birmingham Stallions, mid-pack, no longer the Alabama. I guess maybe it is. They are the Alabama now because Alabama's almost become mid-pack. All right. Columbus Aviators, 1 minute, go.
They have a guy who has coached NFL has been a head coach in the NFL for certain games, is now the offensive coordinator for Columbus, behind Ted Ginn, who's never coached a game in his life. I think that they basically did that as throwing the fans a bone. Fans want to cheer for Ted Ginn. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Ted Ginn, like I said, never has been a head coach. Now he's being thrown in as a professional coach. I think that the quarterback, Jalen McClendon, he's from Houston last year. They're going to be dynamic. From what I know about Ted Ginn, which isn't much, again, as a coach, I would guess that they run like a spread style offense and are going to, zip the ball around the yard.
All right. Next team we have is, I'm missing it here, the Dallas Renegades. 1 minute, go.
Yeah, they're the ones that actually are going to have the most carryover from last year in the respect that they have Luis Perez, who's the best player in the 4 years that spring football's been around. He's the definition of a quad A player. He'll never be good enough for the NFL, but he's, very good as a UFL quarterback, kind of gritty quarterback. He basically has been there, I don't know if he's probably the second best quarterback in the league last year and probably projects to be the best one this year. So I would, with so much uncertainty, they would be my favorite heading in.
All right. They're your favorite heading in, the Dallas Renegades. DC Defenders, 1 minute, go.
Last year's champion, the only returning coach. I'm going to take back what I said literally 5 seconds ago. This actually would be my slight favorite heading into the season. I think they're probably the best team in just from what I know right now. I love their OC. I think that their coach is pretty good, pretty sharp guy. And I think just having since only one coach returned, it's actually a huge advantage for him.
All right. Houston Gamblers, 1 minute, go.
Kevin Sumlin, OC, or maybe he was head coach, but Johnny Manziel has kind of been on the sidelines or hasn't been in the mainstream very much lately. I would guess that he comes out and does something pretty exciting with spread offense here. Again, I think as you kind of go through the theme here, all these teams are going to want to whip the ball around the yard. And if you're going to be watching, maybe not the best quality of football, why not watch them actually try to sling it around instead of running the eye for formation? So as much as I kind of criticized their rule choices earlier, I think these teams are setting up to be a little bit more exciting than they have been in the past.
Good. That's what we love to see here. We want to watch exciting football. Even listen, give me a deep shot or two. Even if it misses, get that adrenaline going in the veins. I was saying to my friends after the Team Canada U.S. gold medal game, what I would give for a Carolina Panthers New Orleans Saints 1 p.m. game right about now after having a Guinness or two after that game.
I checked out. I was looking at the ratings. It's a highest rated hockey game in the history of, or second highest in the history of American, and it was it did about equal with if you did. It was 6 million less than Houston versus Kansas City this year. So people love football, no matter even the shittiest version of it.
Yeah. All right. I also saw you had a terrible tweet. We'll get into that later about covering all your bases in case the U.S. lost, that you guys don't even care about hockey. But now you absolutely love it.
Moretto's listing off all. They remember 2008, 2012, 2016. No, I guarantee you we don't. But
I guarantee you those players do. And I will say, Even though you guys beat us, the development system still runs through Canada. We gotta start putting tariffs on you guys. It's crazy.
That's the most Canadian thing I ever heard. Well, we lost, but don't worry, the future's real bright.
No, I mean every single player on your team came most of the played in the
banner.
OHL.
Are you gonna get a banner up there?
No.
Canada Best Youth Development System.
You know, Jack Hughes played for the Toronto Marlboros as a U16 player, which is you don't even know what that means.
I didn't know any player on the roster until I watched on Sunday morning. So
Wait, hold on. Can you name 3 defensemen on the team?
Oh, no, I can't name 3 players.
Who scored the goal for America
Hughes,
in overtime?
And the Blue Jackets guy.
Who? Hughes?
Jack Hughes. Is that not the guy who won?
Yeah. Is there another Hughes though?
No. What are you talking about?
He has a brother who plays on the team.
And another brother.
Oh yeah, the guy got in trouble. Yeah, because
Yeah. There you go. Who is the Columbus guy?
Wagnerski?
Honestly, that's close. I'll give it to you. You were able to name 3 players. Zach
That's a
Werenski.
Jason pronunciation.
Yeah, that is
super pronunciation.
That is me a pronunciation if I've ever heard it. All right, let's go back to the. We have 3 more teams here. Still, the Louisville Kings. 1 minute, go.
Jason Bean. Not very many people can say they've been a fan of the backup quarterback for Kansas. I love Jason Bean. I've always thought he was like an underrated player. He's had to play a lot with Jaden Daniels having back problems over the past 2 years. Athletic guy. I thought that, was maybe one of the best, say 25, 30 quarterbacks in NCAA and happened to be the backup at Kansas. So yeah, I think that he's a very good player. And, obviously there's a lot more to the team and there's so many unknowns. Running back Benny Snell, former NFL running back. So pretty exciting there. So yeah, they should be, at least, again, I keep saying it, but I think they're going to be more dynamic on offense.
All right, Orlando Storm, second last team, go.
The head coach was the coach of the St. Louis Battlehawks, which were consistently one of the best teams. I don't know why he moved to Orlando, or if it seemed like they made him go. So that's kind of weird, but I don't know. He has been a good steward of the league, and in the spring football league, you just kind of want to get a team that goes out there, is professional. They aren't fucking up or aren't messing up. So yeah, I think that having him there is going to give them, at least they're going to be respectable, high floor.
All right, and then St. Louis Blackhawks.
Yeah,
Sorry, Battlehawks. Did I say Blackhawks?
I know. I was off there. I was like, what? I don't even know if I know. Yeah, so the Battlehawks are the one team in the UFL that actually has a fan base. They have the Dome. They are upset that the NFL left them quite a bit ago. So they kind of are the one true home field advantage. So they have that working for them. AJ Smith, he worked for San Antonio last year as OC. He ran the fastest paced offense, and Silvers he's maybe think of the Jameis Winston of the NFL or the UFL. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. I thought that Silvers was the quarterback for Smith last year, so he obviously feels comfortable with him. I thought that he kind of held them back last year, so it's surprising to me that he is adding him in. But obviously, he is more familiar with him than me.
All right, that wraps it up. All right, good, quick little preview. You're gonna review these UFL teams. Maybe 2 weeks from now, we'll have you on for a proper preview when we get some lines posted. Maybe we'll have some futures posted over on FanDuel because we are still 2 months away from this stuff. Before you head out here, I still have a few for a couple more minutes. What is your obsession with the Cavs to win the East? I see you tweeting about it all the time. Are you just trying to find counterparties to bet the Cavs to win the East so you can load up on the no? What are you doing here?
Last year, Flupp wouldn't shut up about the Cavs to win the East. Do you understand how funny it is going to be after he just sat there, wouldn't shut up about them all year last year? Now he gets off the bandwagon. I hop in. They win. I can say I'm the difference. Flupp's a loser. I'm a winner. If anything, that's worth whatever EV I'm paying for it. So not only are they a great bet, they're the best team in the East. They'll probably be the 2 seed by the time it's set up because they have a pretty easy schedule down the end here. I think that they're a legitimately good bet, and I get to troll Flupp if it happens.
All right, that's a win all around for you. So good stuff. Before you head out, Mr. Peanut Butter, can you just tilt your camera this way? Did you fix the lamp? You fixed the lampshade.
Lampshade fixed.
Good stuff. I'm proud of you. Also, you have a floor lamp in there, which Kirk Evans has never heard of, but Maybe you have, or was it you who doesn't know what a floor lamp is? No, you know what a floor lamp is.
No, I know what a floor lamp is. There's one behind me. So
Yeah. Kirk Evans says he's never.
Kirk said he's never heard of one.
Yeah, he has a floor lamp on his on like his desk, so it like just looks really tall and awkward. I don't know if you've seen that, but
I don't think that you could put a floor lamp on your desk.
I
That doesn't make sense.
I
think that you have this wrong.
I promise you, this
Maybe
is
he
not
has a
wrong.
desk lamp.
No, he does not have a desk lamp because it's way too big for it. It's not like a desk. He has like a little side thing, little side desk that's like lower than his desk. He puts like a floor lamp
like
on it. It's way too high.
Nightstand?
Yeah, there we go. We'll call it a nightstand, but it's not a nightstand. It's like maybe like a small filing cabinet. Who knows? Anyways, what's your fair value on the Caps to win the East? Chat's asking.
I don't have my sim up and running right now, so that's on me. We're still working on that, but just rough estimate fair value is probably around. I would guess it's probably 250.
All right, 250. You just said you just saw it's like around plus 200. You just went 50 cents shorter. You're like, there you go. All right, Mr. Peter, I appreciate you joining the show. Appreciate you coming in before you head out. Any final thoughts on here? Air any grievances? You got anything? Any beef with Geoff? Any beef with Kirk? Maybe the circle back on Monday you want to talk about?
Well, just you guys act like, oh no, believe me, Americans care about hockey. I tell you, I grew up in a freezing cold state, and not one person I knew actually played hockey. It's not like in the high schools as much, so it's kind of weird in that regard. So you guys can keep saying oh no, they care. Let me tell you, I mean, we don't, but it's good that you guys have a reason that you can give for why you guys lost. Oh, they care just as much. Just believe me. They just don't show it in their participation rates, their viewership, or anything like that.
Did their goalie not just receive the Medal of Freedom? It seems like the States care about hockey now.
Anybody can get a Medal of Freedom. Not that.
That's a crazy take. All right, maybe we'll try and get Flup one then for him giving back to the people with his work.
They don't give him out for stuttering. I don't understand.
All right. Anyways, appreciate you joining the show, Mr. Peanut Butter. We will chat soon. I'll see you in the Twitterverse. Hopefully some more Cavs to win the East tweets. We'll chat soon. See you, buddy.
See ya.
Great stuff there for Mr. Peanut Butter, as always. Appreciate him coming on the show. Before we get into our next guest, before we bring on Geoff Fienberg, who, Chad, do we think he's going to be late? Drop down below if he's going to be late, or is he going to berate me for the link when it's the same link pinned in our chat every single time? Let me just, Let me just bump it for him. Anyways, before we bring on our next guest, before we bring on Geoff Fienberg, got to quickly shout out our friends over at FanDuel. FanDuel's putting you in control right from tip-off. That's right. You get to choose your reward. Whether you want to play it safe, if you want to go for it and you're feeling bold, that's your move. Whatever style, you're in control. You can decide what kind of bettor you are, the shot caller, the strategist, the steady hand at the line. No matter how you play, FanDuel's giving you the power to choose your reward and own your game this NBA season. Just visit FanDuel.com/forwardprogress to make your choice. FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NBA, must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas and Philly, Kansas, Casino, 18 plus and present in DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and max wager amount. See terms at sourcebook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelpline.org or call 1-800-375-5050. Somewhere in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8. Hope and Y in New York. All right. Before we bring on our next guest, I have a little bit of a fun thing for us to do. It's top 5 Wednesdays. We're going to start making our Wednesdays a little top 5 segment. Jeff's going to come on afterwards and make fun of my segment. Why he thinks maybe, my top 5 list is good, bad. Maybe if he wants to share his top 5 list, we'll see. But this week, my top 5 is, feeling very Canadian, very, very passionate after the week that was, the last 2 weeks, watching the Winter Olympics. We're going to do the top 5 things that are Canada Down. If you don't know what Canada Down is, Canada Down means just to simply reminisce or indulge on Canadian culture. So we got 2 honorable mentions to start. Number 1, shoving the letter U into everything. That is Canada Down AF, as the kids would say. And the Canadian House Hippo, which I'm going to talk to Geoff about. But the top 5 starts with number 5, the post-bar poutine rip. Love a post-bar poutine rip. Very Canadian. Number 4, bagged milk with some craft dinner. Very Canadian for dinner. I used to have that all the time. Watching any form of hockey, whether it be World Juniors, NHL, or heck, even the Olympics, even if it means we're losing gold, there's nothing more Canadian than getting together with your friends and watching hockey. Number 2, apologizing for literally no reason. We should start a sorry counter on this show because I'm sure I've apologized way too many times. And then finally, a double-double from Tim Hortons as you're going out with your buddies on the ODR. Those are my top 5 Canada down things. The House Hippo, Canadian House Hippo. I want to see if Geoff remembers that. We're going to bring him on right now. He's a Philip Rivers fan. He's probably one of my most favorite people on this earth. If I were to do the top 5 favorite people on earth, Geoff would be up there. Mr. Fienberg. How's it going, my friend?
You could be insufferable sometimes. Jesus.
What? Why? Because I said that you're like a top 5 person that I know.
On Earth.
Yeah, on Earth.
Okay, buddy. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Give me your opinion on the top 5 list. Did I do well? Did I do bad? I know you don't like Tim Hortons, but like, there's nothing more Canadian than like drinking Tim Hortons and going on like an ODR with your friends. No. All right.
I mean, Tim Hortons. That like you do not want to start me on Tim Hortons.
Okay, I won't start you on Tim Hortons then.
What else is on the list? Yes, the Sorry, sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who's the greatest Canadian ever according to you?
Terry Fox.
Okay, at least like you got that right.
Is that, like, who else would it be? Terry Fox. I don't know. Like Terry Fox has to be the 101.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Why?
Like, are you okay from Sunday, or do you got to go like touch some grass or play with some snow? What do you
know
got to
what?
do? Jay?
Honestly, like, do you think I'm acting crazy right now? Like, I think I'm fine, but you're telling me to go touch grass here. Am I like out of sorts? What's up here? Like, you want me to touch grass, touch snow? I don't understand. I have you on my show, and you're calling me crazy.
You told me to. Now I don't understand. You told me to tell you to touch grass.
I didn't say that. That's not true. Now you're just trying to cover up
So
for
now
being
you didn't even
being
make
a little
joke.
mean.
I thought you were setting up a joke.
No,
That's the
it's-
weirdest thing that's ever happened. I'm embarrassed for myself that I played along. You sent me a message to tell you to touch grass. I thought you might have some corny Seinfeld reference. I saw your show the other day. And like, I'm embarrassed I played along and that was even the payoff. I don't even know what just happened.
It's all right, Geoff. I don't even, I have literally no idea what you're talking about. I did not message you that. So you have to go get your head checked a little bit there. You look a little cold.
You want to bet 250K on that?
That's a crazy thing. No, let's get into the show though, because before you wanted to come on, you messaged me last night. You said just sending me sort of random things. I'm like, what is this? He's like, this is what I want to talk about. I have some airing of grievances. You
You
go
ask
ahead.
me for things. I'll talk golf. You want to talk golf?
No, we'll talk a little bit of golf, but I have you for like 10 more minutes. So air your grievances out. You're a clip machine. Let's see it.
No, I don't know. I'm just saying I don't like YouTube Shorts, and that's not about like even. I'm not talking about specifically this network. I just mean in general. I don't know why they really bother me.
So
I'm on YouTube. I don't want shorts.
So when you're talking YouTube Shorts, you're talking about Instagram Reels as well, TikTok, or is it just like if you want to consume that stuff, you're gonna go to Instagram or TikTok?
Yeah, I don't want to get. Yeah, I don't know. That's all.
That's
and then
it?
you thought I was talking about our shorts, like the shorts that like Mike makes, and I was just telling you no. Just in general, I don't care for that. But Jason, honestly, I don't know what happened. You told me to tell you to touch grass.
I literally have no idea what you're talking about, Geoff. We'll move on from this though. Any other things that are bothering you? I saw one that was pretty anti-Canadian. I want you to get into that though.
Oh, I said so. No, it's fine.
Okay, all right, that's fine. We can skip over that one. The last one you wanted to talk about was we should be able to see who likes other people's posts on Twitter.
Oh yeah, I remember on Twitter you could see the likes.
Yes.
So what do you think? Like, yeah, that's all. I guess I don't know.
But
People
why?
didn't
Like,
want to
what
get fired
incites
for
this?
likes.
What incites this in your mind? What makes
It was just random. I don't know what we're doing. Let's talk golf.
Okay, let's talk golf then. All right. I don't know. You sent me stuff that you wanted to talk about. I thought you maybe had like a little 1 minute bit to tee you up for.
What are you talking about? Sent you stuff. You told me to tell you to touch grass. You ruined the show, Jason.
I didn't ruin the show.
What am I doing here?
All right, I'll go touch grass then, Geoff. You're telling me I'm ruining the show. Fine, I'll touch grass. Then.
No. What was the
it's
joke?
okay.
What joke
No, it's
did you
okay.
want to
It's
say when
it's
I-
okay. I have no idea what you're talking about. This is like I hate.
Hey, let's find a way. Let's find this. Usually we're pretty good together. This one got off the rails, so I don't know. Can't work every time. I don't know what happened here, Jay.
Cognizant Classic. Let's get into it. PGA Tour stuff. I guess maybe I don't know how much we can talk about this here, but some sports books had some issues because a lot of players were pulling out of this tournament. What's
Can I send the Hammer an invoice?
Sure.
Because I was like driving down for the show on Monday when that went down.
Yeah.
And I already had bets into that sports book.
Yeah. And some people got some good cash out. So what happened with those players? Why did they withdraw? Like, what does this normally happen for the Cognizant Classic in Florida?
I'd say post like 2024, maybe even a bit earlier, the event has like really become like the lowest tier event, which is unfortunate because formerly the Honda Classic starts the Florida Swing. Is one of the most fun events of the year. The course used to be like incredibly hard, but they have, put in some overseeded ryegrass, extended the fairways. Last year, Jake Knapp shot 59. This thing would play to like over scoring average of over a stroke and a half. Now it can play under. Last year, I think it flirted with nearly 2 under par. So it's just such an easier course. But as for the field specifically, it's just in a horrible scheduling spot. Maybe the worst scheduling spot on the schedule. We're just coming off this West Coast run. I think 3 straight, like pretty strong events: Waste Management in Phoenix, Pebble Beach, and Riviera. And then we have, after this, Jay, we have Bay Hill and the Players Championship. So honestly, like, who the hell is going to play in this?
Yeah.
And then the top guys who are supposed to play, or at least like committed to play, I say that loosely, they all ended up withdrawing because they'd been playing some good golf and this was their chance to get a week off. Even a guy like Jacob Bridgman, who probably wasn't even himself expecting to win Riviera, wins Riviera, and he's even out also. So yeah, guys withdrew, and sports books normally would just take it off the board. DraftKings didn't take it off the board. They made everyone what, minus 10,000?
Yeah.
And it's sad for me. On my way down, I'm not a law-abiding citizen. I'm looking at my phone. And I opened up DraftKings. I opened up DraftKings because they originally did take it off the
other
board.
sports
Said book.
Oh, shoot. Sorry.
It's okay.
Well, they got burned. They're idiots.
Yeah,
their stock price sucks. And you wonder why their stock price is in the tank? It's shit like that. Their back end could do something like that.
Yeah.
Be that stupid. So there, accidentally, but we'll trash them on the way out.
Yeah, well, I mean.
But I saw it was off the board, and I wanted to see if it had come back on the board. And I'm at a red light, and I looked at it, and it was minus 10,000. And you know me, my simple brain didn't think, check your live, check the bets you already made, man. Oh.
And you want to invoice us for that. That's more so on you.
Well, no, yes, because if I was home or if I wasn't coming for that, I would have it wouldn't have just been quickly while I'm stuck or stopped at a light. I would have for sure caught it in the window it existed.
All right, that makes sense. I'll give that to you at the very least. All right.
But I wouldn't have won $20K. I maybe could have pulled in 4. And the way DraftKings honestly has my account limited, I would be willing to lose my account for $4K because they don't even let me. Yeah, I have to go through a lot of hoops to even make those golf bets.
Jeff,
so it'll be a blessing in disguise.
You're in a lot of trouble today. Talk to me about this tournament. We had a bunch of players drop out here. First year, by the way, you're making up stories, just doing bad stuff.
Stories about what?
Anyways, about these
what
texts.
What story did I make up?
Anyways, talk to me about the.
I don't actually think you guys the Pizzol owes me money because I missed a cash out. But what story did I?
Never
make
mind.
Up?
We'll talk about it later.
Oh no! There's
the
no
phantom
chance.
text. This is enough of this. Win. Let's look at the win market. Any guys you like on the board right now? Any bets you like now that we've seen so many players drop out? Obviously, the odds have adjusted. Any bets you like still on the board?
Yeah, it's tough because when all those guys left the tournament, I sort of, I don't want to say overbet, but I sort of rushed to make some bets because before the stuff went off the board. So we'll stick with stuff that I think is still good or available, I guess, for the most part. Michael Thorbjornsen, you could probably find that above 25-1 in most places. I love this guy. The fact that they've, made it more of a driver-heavy golf course, I think will suit him perfectly. His biggest weakness would be around the greens, but with the rye overseed, it's so much easier to chip around here. And Nico Echeverria, who I bet out of the gate on Monday, but I still really like him. You could find him in about the 60s. He's a real hit or miss. 4 missed cuts in his last 6, but those non-missed cuts are top 10s. And this, including a T8 at Pebble just a couple weeks ago, this is the perfect sort of course fit for a guy like Nico, who can play positional, great iron, and one of the best like Bermuda green putters maybe in this entire field. So I'm in on Nico big. Those ones would still be available. I've also got Nico in head-to-heads and some placings. You could probably, the safest bet of the week though would probably be the Shane Lowry top 20. That's right. Still slightly over plus money. Shane Lowry is the best player, at least resume, in this field, despite not winning in years. He, there's about 30 players who are probably top 50 in the world who live within 10 minutes of this place that are choosing not to play. Shane Lowry he is for some reason like made this his 5th major. Like he's really committed to this event. He always plays outstanding. He's lost that dog. Like I don't think he's won in North America in like 8 years. I don't know, that dog in him for a win outside of a Ryder Cup or being beside Rory. But I would trust him as much as anybody to come in with something clean. And I don't know, you want to get a little friskier, Jay? What do you want?
Sure, we can get frisky. I love getting frisky. Don't get me wrong. I just know it's not going to come in the first round leader, but let's get frisky.
I don't bet first round leader. It's just not something I do. I can't think like, I don't know. Like
that's
how
fine.
Many
get frisky.
I don't. Well, you want a first round leader?
No, whatever you want to throw at me. You said you wanted to get frisky. I assume you had something stuck in the back.
There's a lot of this is a great tournament. I can get, call your shot because the field is so shit that anyone you sort of believe in or a young guy to make a big move, this would be the place to do it. And I'll get cocky with the youngster, the young American David Ford here.
Okay.
If you're telling me Fienberg, find me a winner over 100 to 1, it would be David Ford.
All right, David Ford over 100 to 1.
Yeah,
is what you're looking at.
Kid the beast.
Seems like Toronto. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, look for if you can find that Nico over Higo head-to-head. I think that's available where we're supposed to support here. That would be one I like, and that Lowry top 20 and Andrew Putnam top 20 at 4 to 1 will go on the way out.
All right, Andrew Putnam 4 to 1 as well. We'll add in there both those top 20s available on FanDuel. Couple people in the chat calling their shot. Davis Thompson plugged that 66 to 1 before the rule out.
Yeah, he's on my outright card. Okay. You spin the wheel of losers. You spin that wheel of losers hard this week.
Maybe that's how we should do golf betting going forward. Just the wheel of losers. Before you head out here, Charles saw a question in the chat. Question for Geoff. We'll have boots on the ground for the Cog Saturday. First ever time attending a golf tournament. Any recommendations for an itinerary?
Dude, so I love Palm Beach. I've been to this tournament many, many times. It's a blast. It's sort of lost some of the sizzle the last few years. But you just head over to the Bear Trap on a Saturday afternoon in Palm Beach. The biddies be biting. Like, Jay, you would have a blast at this thing. What's that, like 16, 17 there? Oh, yeah. The party is on at the Bear Trap. I'm actually going to be in Palm Beach next week. I was invited out by a TGL, that indoor simi league, to do some stuff. So I haven't hit a golf ball since September. So I might be embarrassing myself for some content next week.
If you want me to go in your place, Geoff, I'd be happy to go. I could just say I'm Geoff Fienberg and see if that works. Maybe we can trick him a little bit. If you don't want to embarrass yourself.
No, that's okay.
You don't want to bring me along?
I'll go. I mean, it's Palm Beach, gonna even extend it for a few days. The wife's gonna come down. Perfect.
All right.
Yeah, get the parents to watch the kids. Yeah, good times.
Oh, you don't want to split a hotel room like we did way back when visiting GRPA?
Split a hotel room with my wife? What do you mean?
No, with me. Remember when we went to visit GRPA?
Are you coming?
I thought you would invite me, but I guess not. Anyways.
I don't know, Jason. Usually, We've had some pretty good ones. I don't know. This one didn't. Some
one
got
didn't
lost
stick.
off the top. I'm gonna find that message, and if I'm making that up in my head, I'll apologize. But if it's real, you better apologize to me.
All right. I can't wait for the apology, like right
I
after
don't
you
even
head off
get
the
it.
show.
I don't even get what you wanted.
I'll expect to listen. You don't have to tweet anything out. Just text me. I'm sorry. That's all I need. Okay.
Okay.
Jeff,
Bye,
appreciate
boys.
you. My favorite person in the whole world. See you, Jeff. Great stuff there. As he drops off right away. Look how quickly he likes to leave. The second that he has to go, he's gone. He's out. He's gone. Came in to talk some golf, dropped some knowledge, made some like really weird stuff. Like weird. I don't know what's going on with Jeff. Maybe so. Honestly,
We just can't have Geoff come on the show in a car. It's simple.
yeah.
When Jeff's at home.
To be
and is,
fair, he did say he was going to come on the car this week. I said, Jeff, I cannot miss the show with you, so I'll allow it.
We'll allow it then. That's
I'll allow it. Did Jeff? Italian Mamba, my friend, right after the buzzer. Did Jeff look at Brooks at all this week? Striking the ball well, just haven't been able to putt. But now back home. Sorry, buddy.
From touching grass to receiving a bouquet of flowers.
We don't. We don't have Jeff anymore. All good. It's time for our next guest. Time for our favorite guest. Second favorite guest today. I'm just buttering him up a little bit because he's going to butter me up here. He's our favorite frat boy. He's my favorite guy to futures mog because I mog him on futures, as the kids say. Growing a great beard, which, by the way, keep it up, Kirk. Kirk Evans, how's it going? You shaved. What the fuck?
I didn't shave.
Oh, okay. Well, it just looks thicker than like before.
You think I shaved because it looks thicker than before?
No. Like when I saw you on
opposite of shaving.
when I saw you on Monday, it looks thicker. Like go watch the circle back video that you guys released, or sorry, circles off video that you released. Was it a week ago? Last week, which was recorded 2 weeks ago. You almost had no beard. Now you got beard. It's like, is there a reason for this?
It grows.
I thought it was intentional.
Do you know how facial hair works?
I don't know if you can see. I got some pretty great facial hair here.
Okay, let me explain. I'll tell you there. So you shave and then you have no hair,
Okay.
and then over time grows hair.
Okay. But I thought you were being like more intentional, trying to get like bigger, like a nice little beard going on.
No, it's pure laziness. Typically, my beard cycle is when I have an event that is like unacceptable for having a really, really long beard. Then I'm like, all right, time to shave, and then we run it back.
All right. That's good to know your beard schedule. I honestly around the same thing. I don't know if you can tell with my facial grooming, but anyways, I'm going to give you the floor here because you wanted to come on and talk about MVP. Did you want to I know this pained you to say this on Twitter. Pips saw an opportunity to make fun of me on the floor, picked it up. I respect that. Pips has every right to make fun of me. So do you. But you said he's low-key right, though.
Yes, I broke clock right twice a day.
Okay, so broke clock right twice a year?
Yeah, look, Cade is not going to win MVP, in my opinion. I guess pretty much it's a parlay of Shea not qualifying, which I'm not so sure why people are so worried about Shea not qualifying. He's one of the healthier players in the NBA. He very rarely misses time. He's currently injured, but he's going to miss, I think, his 11th game today. He has still a solid amount of runway, and I think should be back in the next week or two. I don't think he's in serious trouble. And I saw people saying, or I saw there was the report from the OKC, Dagnall saying, we're always going to prioritize health over the MVP, which I do believe in. OKC has bigger plans than just the Shea MVP, but you'd also have to be insane to think that they're not going to try. MVP is a really big deal. Winning an NBA MVP is that is a significant piece for your legacy that every single player cares about. There are only so many players who've won back-to-back MVPs. So the idea that they wouldn't play him down the stretch, in game 82, if he had 66 games or 65 games, they wouldn't play him for 20 minutes, I think is laughable. They absolutely would play him. Even Jokic, who is the least caring superstar probably we've ever seen absolutely would play for 20 minutes, in my opinion, versus resting a typical game. Also, these are guys who like don't rest back-to-backs ever, very, very rarely get hurt. And also, if both of them don't qualify, I think Wemby is a far, far better MVP candidate than Cade. So, like, yeah, like, the top of my head, there's probably a 1% chance that all of Shea, Jokic, and Wemby don't qualify. There are probably some paths where Cade would win it over Wemby, especially if he got like some media. But there are also paths where I think Luka's pretty dead in the water. Like, yeah, Jaylen Brown versus Cade MVP, it would be a laughable award considering like how good the winner. Look, Cade and Jaylen Brown are great players. Don't get me wrong, but they're not really close to the level of players that have won MVP the last, throughout the whole history of the NBA. So yeah, I have a very big position on Cade now. I have Shea, yes. I have Jokic, yes. I think those like Cade is taking up 16% of the MVP market, and he is realistically like a 2% winner. So, Jokic is good and Shea is good right now, and Wemby is probably good right now. So you can bet this market pretty freely.
Yeah. Also, with the minutes, the games played requirement, I'm just doing a quick scroll of minutes played for Shea. You need to hit 20 minutes minimum in 63 of the 65 games. So you can even play. He has like 2 games left where he can play just a minute and then just sub out, and it'll still count towards the MVP award, which is small thing, but again, Look, Wemby, I think really wanted to win Defensive Player because if he keeps not qualifying, it'll have implications for his max contract that he's going to sign. So they did that. They ran him off the bench. He came back from an injury where typically a player would, play the front end and then rest the back end. And they just took him off the bench and played him 20 minutes both sides. That's it's going to happen when I learned this in business school. When a measure becomes a target, it ceases to be a measure. Like now they are targeting the 65 games rule, so they have the incentive for it. So they will do weird things to get there. So I just don't see Cade winning this award other than some really crazy runouts here. I also again handicapping the award. Talked about it yesterday. You could just use the Wemby MVP DPOI price for pricing out how many his chance of missing 65 games.
Yeah, exactly. And Wemby is how many games is Wemby at right now? I think he's at.
I think he can miss 4.
Or is it 4? Something like that. So. Yeah. So Wemby, to me, Shea is clearly more likely
100%
to qualify than Wemby, and even Jokic, who has less games, he is so not injury prone and plays such a style of basketball that he so rarely gets hurt that he honestly maybe is even more likely to probably not, maybe a little less. But again, we're talking Shea's in the 90s. Jokic is probably 80% to qualify. Wemby's similar, 80% to qualify.
Yeah.
You do that math, it's quickly becomes very, very, very small percentage.
Yeah. No, you nailed it.
And look, I think there are runouts where Cade would win it over Wemby, but the Spurs are really good. Wemby is a much, much better player than Cade. The NBA voters typically are pretty good, especially with MVP. So, yeah, I have a significant amount of risk on Cade to not win MVP. The price keeps getting better. I keep posting more. So, I have a firm belief that Cade is not the MVP. I have Jokic MVP. I have Shea MVP. I'm just gonna keep betting both at this price.
Yeah. All right. Great. No Wemby.
Yeah, I do have
Small.
Wemby from the beginning of the year as well, and at this number, it probably is pretty decent. I just think there are a few runouts where Wemby wins it over Shea and Jokic if they qualify, and I still think that percentage. But I obviously way prefer Wemby, yes, to Cade, yes.
Yes, of course. And also if it does,
Wemby is much more likely to win the award than Cade, and
100%.
he's priced 3x less.
Yeah, which makes Little to no sense when I opened that up. Anyways,
and to me, the way I would think about this award, especially if you're betting it on like Kalshi, is, you know, even if they're posting, which on these exchanges there's like very little vig unless you're a taker on Kalshi, but like Cade is, you're kind of getting a market with like an anti-vig where they're kind of giving you a plus EV market because they're pricing Cade at 16%, and he's closer to 2%. So that 14%, you can bet Shea, you can bet Jokic, you can bet Wemby, and they can all be good.
Yeah, no, that you're making great points.
And even like Luka at 2% and Brown at 2%, like those guys are probably closer to 0.5%.
Yeah,
maybe even less.
Yeah, Luka 40-1 right now. Brown 50-1 on FanDuel. Let's move on to most improved player, which is what you want to talk about. The MIP. There's a question in the chat about the MIP. Someone out there is saying they can get Jalen Johnson at plus 110, currently minus 110 over on FanDuel. Talk us through the MIP market.
If you want Jalen Johnson at plus 110, I'll happily post that on Polymarket if anyone wants. I think Jalen Johnson's just completely mispriced in this market. The question obviously is Denny's injury. It's been very, very odd, and it seems like they could shut him down. And if that happens, obviously Denny is going to fall out. Oh, wow. I actually didn't take in that Duran had jumped up
plus
to
380,
plus 380. He was plus 700 like yesterday, actually. But yeah, I think Duran is more likely to win this award than Jalen Johnson, honestly. Jalen Johnson is having a great year. Like his top line stats are really good. He's a super overrated player, in my opinion, because he just puts up really, really big box score stats. But they're having a disappointing season. They might not even make the playoffs. And he hasn't even taken like any efficiency leap. He's just kind of putting up better box score numbers. I'm also not sure that I think Denny is. We haven't had an announcement on him. I know he left the game after 1 minute. I'm not that convinced that he's just like done. Obviously, he's getting priced at plus 450. So it's not like the market is pricing him as done as well. But yeah, to me, Jalen Johnson's a big fade. If Keontae comes back, I think he has a path. He's having a super, super impressive season. I think the Jazz being this bad and like having this kind of narrative around him will make it hard for Keontae to win. But yeah, I just think Duran's case is better than Jalen. But if Denny plays, in the next couple days, I haven't seen at least any confirmation that Denny is going to be out a long time. Obviously, what happened 2 games ago, if you didn't see, he came in questionable with a back injury that he's been dealing with for like a month and a half, and he played the first minute of the game and then sat. So, and he's been questionable, playing missing. So it makes sense that his odds dropped significantly. But yeah, if Denny plays, he should rifle right back up to the favorite. I think he's like clearly the favorite if he finishes the season with like a reasonable amount of games played. And like obviously if he's missing the last few months of the season, he's not going to win. And then if Denny's out, I do think Duran has a better case than Jalen Johnson right now.
All right, great little preview of the MIP there. It seems like Jalen Johnson is mispriced, not priced well, priced too high, whatever you want to call it there.
Yeah, well, it's fun. These award markets are fun now because you can have a belief that Cade or Jalen are mispriced,
and then anything's a good bet,
and take, but also take the position on the no.
Yeah,
you can give all the liquidity to the yes on Kalshi, and you can take that position to the no. Versus in prior years, if someone was way mispriced, you kind of had to find the inverse of who you should bet on. Versus now you can actually get a position just on a player now.
Yeah. Quick question for you here, just before you head out. NBA Coach of the Year, Bickerstaff for the Pistons, like minus 270. It seems like he's probably going to win. But with the news that Jason Tatum might be coming back maybe sooner than expected, and the Celtics only being like 4.5 games back from the Pistons, is there like a path here for them to like, I don't know, pass the Pistons and be the number 1 seed in the East? And then would that then lead to Joe Mazzulla winning over Bickerstaff?
Yeah, I don't think Tatum really factors into this at all, honestly. Yeah, I think Bickerstaff minus 220 is probably a bit rich. I think Missoula and Mitch Johnson. Like, I kind of think whoever finishes with the best record of those three has a really good case. You know, so much credit is going to go to Wemby. So I do think Mitch Johnson kind of at plus 750 he maybe needs to have a significant, like, if they finish first in the West, I think he would have a good shot. And yeah, I think if Boston overtook Detroit, Missoula would have a good, or even if it was close. But I wouldn't say I have like a bargain position on the market. I do have some JB from earlier in the year, but I think all three of those guys are pretty live. And like, I see Ott is the fourth guy. I think he's totally dead in the water. Charles Lee, totally dead in the water, even though I love Charlotte. So yeah, it's between those three guys. I think JB's definitely rightfully the favorite, but I probably would make it tighter.
All right. Appreciate that there. Clutch Player of the Year, an award that's kind of like...
Oh, wait. I don't want to talk about this. I want to talk about the Eastern Conference.
Oh, sorry. You're right. Sorry, I completely forgot about that. Let's talk about the Eastern Conference here. What did you want to talk about?
I want to call out the first guest on the show.
Peanut Butter. Okay. Okay.
We're in a group chat. Me and Mr. Peanut Butter. And we all talk futures and stuff like this. But he gets a 12:15 slot, I get the 12:45 slot, and he gets to love this Cavs position. This guy was the first one on Cavs. I was betting it preseason, and I was the first one after the Harden trade to say Cav Dees is good. So I am reclaiming that position from Mr. Peanut Butter. If it wins, I want all the glory. But if it loses, blame him, obviously.
All right, I will say I will give you.
I love Cavs East. I think he said plus 250. I actually think it's probably better than that. Like for the fair, I think they're pretty substantially better than any other team in the East. Yep. I think Harden, it makes him a lot better. I think Harden is maybe the most underrated player in the NBA right now. I saw when they traded for him, people were like, "Oh, like James Harden, like is he even going to make them better?" Like James Harden is incredible. He is in noticeably unbelievable shape. I also think you get like a nice little period with Harden with whatever team, like last year when he was playing, when he got traded to the Clippers as well. Like when he's really happy, he tries quite hard, and then like eventually something goes wrong. Even when he started with the Nets that first year, he was pretty unbelievable. And he's kept himself. It's funny because like the narrative just like hasn't really shifted at all on Harden, but like he's 36. He might be in the best shape of his career. Even if you just watch him, he's so slender. He's playing really hard. And this has always been true in the NBA, but definitely has increased over time, that the like meta or whatever you want to call it of just like going through small guards is just, you're just so rewarded for that. The best players in the league just go through the chest of these small guys. So it's so hard when they had Garland and Mitchell, and then also they have these good bench guards and like Merrill, but you just can't play all those guys together. Now, you know, Harden is more of like a 4 on defense. Fine, he obviously doesn't have great lateral movement, but they also have so much help behind him with the two bigs that he fits in perfectly. No one can get through him. Like you can't beat James Harden in a one-on-one matchup. And if you're going to try going at him in pick and roll, okay, Cavs are a really switchy team, and they have a backline center no matter who they switch, because, you know, if they run Harden with Mobley pick and roll, Mobley can switch on to him. They still have Jared Allen in the back line versus, you know, if it's Garland, okay, we can just ISO at Garland, and it's much, much harder to play team defense if a team's just going to say, okay, we're just going to completely destroy this one guy in 1-on-1 ISO or in the post, and teams just can't do that. So, yeah, I think this Cavs team is awesome. I think Harden playoff stuff, like, yeah, sure, I think the Harden playoff stuff was kind of real when he played for Houston and was the guy. Now he doesn't need to be the guy. He can be their third best player, second best offensive option. Jalen Tyson also is an underrated story of just has turned into a really, really solid NBA player. The Cavs are deep. They're going to get Strus back eventually. This team's just really, really good, and I think significantly better than any other team in the East.
Yeah, no, I ask you for fair, and you go on this like 4-minute monologue about why this team is really good. I asked Mr.
Oh,
Peanut
did
Butter.
you ask me for the fair?
No. I basically asked you why, but then Mr. Peanut Butter comes on. He's like, yeah, no, just like subtract 50 cents, and then that's my fair number. So you can tell where the play originally came from. Before I let you go, though, quickly, you wanted to mention Southeast Division as well. I see your computer's at like 4%, so you got to be quick on this one.
I have a portable charger here. I just like to plug it in.
All right.
You can see my computer.
I can see a lot more than you'd expect.
I don't like that at all.
All right, Southeast Division winner.
Quickly, so yeah, I've said Heat on this show before. I still think there's value there currently. Last night was Heat lost in a terrible loss to Milwaukee, and Orlando snuck out a game against the Lakers. Orlando's the best team in this division with Franz healthy and Suggs healthy. At this point, you just cannot think that this is going to be a healthy team for the rest of the regular season. I love Charlotte. Charlotte currently is the best team in the division. That is actually the team I'm going to be cheering for in this division, but they're a bit overpriced as well. I think Heat at plus 220, if you want to reload, is good. If you already have it at I'd probably give it at like plus 180 on the show or something earlier. I don't really remember. But yeah, I think that's honestly still a pretty good spot.
All right, plus 185 right now on FanDuel. Miami Heat to win the Southeast Division. Kirk, appreciate you joining the show. We'll chat very soon. Hopefully I'll see you on Monday.
Absolutely. Later, guys.
Great stuff there from Kirk. As always, do us a huge favor, guys. Smash the like button, goes a long way here on the channel. If you're new to the channel as well, hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment down below what you thought of each guest. Shout out to Kirk. Shout out to Geoff. Shout out to Mr. Peanut Butter. Shout out to the chat ripping on me. Apparently I'm off my game. Maybe I'm still cold after that 1 week content freeze we had. I'm still frozen. Chat, he's still frozen. What is he cooking? Absolutely nothing. Kirk gave out plus 210 earlier. Derek, appreciate you for mentioning that on the Heat there. If you've done both those things, you've done all those things, you've liked, comment, and you subscribe, you're saying, what else can we do? Do us a huge favor. Head over to any of your favorite podcasting platforms, Spotify, Apple, whatever it be. Search The Hammer Daily. Give us 5 stars. It's pretty massive for us in those algorithms. I know a lot of our stuff comes through YouTube. We're trying to grow outside of YouTube. We are still trying to grow on YouTube, but trying to grow a little bit more outside of YouTube as well. So make sure you do that. And yeah, appreciate you guys tuning in. I promise I'll come back tomorrow with a lot more heat, a lot more energy. Hopefully I won't be as frozen. Maybe Jeff's right. Maybe I do need to go touch grass or touch snow or whatever he was talking about there. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. This has been the Wednesday, February 25th edition of the Hammer Daily here on the Hammer Betting Network, presented by our good friends at FanDuel. We will see you guys right here tomorrow.